Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be hopefully another quick, short video. Yes, the DB9 is going to star in it, but it's another problem, just like our parasitic drain, that could be affecting all sorts of cars. If you've got a V8, V10, V12, or potentially anything even bigger, well, this could be a problem that affects you. Now, this is a problem I've discovered through research and understanding and just looking after this car. It's oil consumption. Now, a lot of people really don't think about this. They don't even consider the potential implications of this problem. But the reality is this is a 6-litre V12 engine. This is not small. This is a massive engine. It's got 4 valves per cylinder. There's 48 valves. The amount of oil coverage that has to go on inside this engine is staggering. It's massive. There's a huge amount of oil needed for this car, 11 litres, and this car has a semi-dry sump. It's a massive amount of oil, which means when this car runs, it burns oil. That is normal. That is what it's expected to do. You can't have an engine with that many running components not burn oil. So the question is, how much oil should it burn? Because there's this big myth out there, these engines shouldn't burn any oil whatsoever. That's a complete myth. It's nonsense. All engines will burn some oil. Now, your small little 4-cylinders, yeah, they're going to burn way less. They're far more efficient. Big, powerful performance engines like these, and especially the bigger the engine, well, they're going to burn a lot more oil, a hell of a lot more oil. And a lot of people don't realize the implications of not being aware of that and doing something about it. A huge giveaway is in the owner's manual for this car. It says in various places, not just once, not twice, but quite commonly, that you should regularly check the oil level and top up as necessary. It doesn't mention anything about losing oil as a bad thing. It simply says check and top up frequently. Now, all of that's not a big deal. That's fairly ordinary car stuff. Everybody knows big engines are going to use oil. But it's the rate of oil that this thing uses, and which almost any V8, V10, or V12 uses, that does mean you can get yourself into a lot of trouble if you're not keeping on top of it. And I'm very tempted to believe that this could be a major contributing factor for some of the very serious issues that have been reported with this engine. Let me talk about the oil consumption on this car. Now, what tipped me off to this was actually going through the owner's manual. It's in the manual all over the place. So that led me into thinking, well, how much should it actually burn? Because I'd noticed that from my first 1,000 miles, the oil had dropped. And I wanted to know just how much was acceptable. In this car, a normal best case scenario for oil burning is about 200 mils for 600 miles. Now that's pretty bad, but it gets a lot worse, because in a worst case scenario, still fairly normal for the owner who likes to take it to the max, this thing can burn half a litre of oil in 600 miles. That's massive. So if you look at it between the two, the rate of oil consumption that this thing will go through is huge. In a best case scenario, for normal oil burning of this engine, you lose about a litre for about 3,000 miles of driving. That's pretty damn big. In a worst case scenario, you're losing a litre for about 1,200 miles. That's catastrophic, but it's normal. It is what's expected to happen with this engine. There is so many moving components, 48 valves, 12 cylinders, you burn a lot of oil. So for owners who are driving these things kind of as they were intended to be driven, yeah, you're going to churn through oil and you need to top it up. If you don't top it up, then you've got some serious problems. And I dare say, a very real chance that that is a contributing factor to so many of the engine problems that are being reported with these cars. Think of it this way. This is an Aston Martin. It's a V12. And it has plenty of competitors in the Ferrari, Lamborghini, and not only that, in the prestige market such as BMWs and Mercedes and so on. There's plenty of V12s, V8s, V10s floating around. They're all the performance stuff. And they're all very expensive. So your question has to be, how many of their owners actually check and top up oil on a regular basis? Well, I can tell you in the Aston Martin space, it's going to be none. Virtually no Aston Martin owner of a brand new Aston at least is going to be checking their own oil. They take it in for service. Sure, DIYers and enthusiasts, yeah, we do check it, like me and other people. But a huge number of owners, the main demographic of cars like this, they're not checking their own oil. They don't even know how much oil's in it. All they care about is driving it and then having to take it for service. And there lies the biggest problem of them all. Because many of these owners are taking their cars in for service just once a year. That's all that they're required for on the books. But they're doing a lot more than 3,000 miles a year. Now, in a best case scenario, if you're churning through a litre of oil in 3,000 miles, but you've taken it in for service at 5 or 6, well, it's a lot more than a litre that you've burnt. And these things are notoriously sensitive to oil pressure problems. If you don't have the right oil in them, you lose oil pressure. Not only that, it gains excessive heat. And all of that means you're facing potential catastrophic damage. Yes, that may very well be a serious contributing factor to why we saw serious mechanical issues in some of these early engines. If you're not checking your oil and topping it up, you could literally be killing your engine. This myth, this idea that engines shouldn't lose oil at all, that it should be perpetually at peak level all the time, that's just nonsense. If you think that you shouldn't top up your engine oil and you think you can just get away with it at servicing when you've got a V8, V10 or a V12, yeah, think again. You could literally be on the path to killing your engine. The other little catch that would catch out even DIYers and enthusiasts is how to check the oil on this. It seems pretty straightforward. There's a dipstick. You pull it out and you check it on the level. But it's not actually that straightforward. You see, this car and its equivalent, many of its competitors, they all run either a dry sump or a semi-dry sump. This car has a semi-dry sump. Now, you can't check the engine oil level when cold. You really should not. You need to check it when it's at very least warmed up significantly. And that's because the nature of the oil system on this means that it can get trapped in all sorts of places when cold. You need to get it warm, you need to get it cycling, and then you can actually see the true level of oil. If you're checking this when cold, you may get the wrong level and either over top it up, which is bad, or not top it up enough, which is very bad. So either way, you've got to check this thing when correct. So the average Aston Martin owner, they're not doing that. They're not doing it at all. And I dare say the average V12 Mercedes, Ferrari, Lamborghini, or any other prestige brand, even some of those old BMW V10 owners, they're probably not checking their oil. And no matter what engine you've got, if it's got that many cylinders and that many valves, you need to check it. Because if you don't, you could quickly find yourself starved of oil, and then you get serious problems developing. So yeah, I find it very interesting when it comes to discoveries about things like that on this car, because suddenly it can explain why issues can be prevalent that weren't actually a fault of the manufacturer, but a result of kind of the demographic of ownership. People not checking their oil, not even being aware that they need to check their oil, and probably worse still, not wanting to check their oil. They've simply gone out and bought a car with a massive engine, decided to drive the hell out of it, and then complained when the thing collapses because they haven't been topping it up with oil. Now, I'm not saying that's the cause of major problems. There are all sorts of things that can go wrong. We know that. But maintenance, yeah, it's a big one on this car. And it really doesn't surprise me that there'd be a lot of people out there facing catastrophic engine problems as a result of oil starvation, which is a result of them simply not topping it up. Yeah, it is a fascinating insight. When you actually realize this, you can actually start to see a bigger picture emerging of why sometimes certain engine failures occur. Certain demographics of people just aren't going to look after their car, and the rate at which they're taking in for service is just not frequent enough. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching this short little video. Hopefully it's given you a bit of an insight and the inclination to go and check the oil in your car, because you should be doing it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have liked any parts of this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned. Get notifications going, because next main videos, they're going to be covering the wrapping of this car. It's all coming. We're going to be getting this done. We're going to make it look epic. It might not be one video because there's a lot of work to do and it's all on me. So for now, again, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get the wrapping started on this. Hopefully you're going to go check your oil, and I will see you in the next video. Signing out.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape,